So this is where we left off last time. I had textured this stuff here in Substance Painter, brought it back into Blender, and you'll notice there are a few other items here, the windows and the door. All right, and this is what it looks like so far. Okay, so that's what we have. And what I'd like to do in this video is to texture the windows and the door. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is this is all joined together. This one has a mirror on it. I think I'm just going to take the mirror off for now. And I'm actually going to, I think, delete that one because I'll copy this one over. So I'm going to take that one. And I'll leave the mirror on. There are implications for that if you texture something and if there's something sort of very kind of unique on it, it's going to show up in the mirrored one as well, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be like that. I'm going to create a new material here and I'm going to call this window, and that's going to be for the entire thing. And then we're going to come over here and I'm going to select this and I'm going to call this door. And that's going to include that. That's going to be part of door. This stuff is part of door. And the handle is part of door. And so that should be all of the stuff has got materials. That's pillar, etc. All right, so let's just go on over to the UV editing window and we have this. And now, yeah, okay. So here's what I think I'm going to do to unwrap this. For this piece, I'm going to select just an edge right. I'm just going Shift Alt and click in edge selection right at the edge of this thing. There may be a few edges in there. I'm not really worried about which one I'm grabbing because it should be just fine. I'm going to zoom in on it and it should be okay. With those selected, Control E and mark seam. And if I just select that piece and unwrap it, it'll look like this. I could potentially grab these and Control L, and I could try to straighten them with UV squares. Let's see how that works. I think that did it. It's just this stuff's not packed or anything. So I think that's going to be fine, that piece there. For this piece here, if I just U and unwrap it, I get that. And that might actually be okay. I'm not sure, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just rotate this and sort of try to straighten it. Let's scale it down a bit. So that piece is there. All right, so that could be okay. So now I'm going to come along and do a couple more. Same thing as I did before. I'm going to select these two edges and these two. Control E, mark seam. Select a bit of that, so I should get both of those. You unwrap and I'll get this. Now let's see if I can grab all of these and using this add-on, yeah, that straightens them out. I think that's going to be okay. Again, we'll pack later on. So that leaves this and these. So let's look at these. Oh, and the bottom thing too. Let's just do the bottom. In fact, for the bottom piece, let's try just Smart UV Project. I'm not even going to give it an island margin. No, maybe I will. Let's not do that. Let's use Smart UV Project. I don't even know if I need to do this if I'm packing everything together afterwards. So that one's done. So now what I need to do is for these guys here, I'm going to select the top edge and one of the ones along the back and Control E, mark seam. And I'm going to do that for all three of these at the top and one of these, so it won't be seen. I want one of the middle ones. I don't think it would actually make a difference. But we're just going to go ahead and do that anyhow. And that maybe Control E, mark seam. There's nothing on the bottom of these. So if I take, let's just get these. Well, I'm going to redo this anyhow. But just if you want to see this, unwrap, we get that. And then again, I could take these, Control L, and I could straighten them. But the truth is, I think once I do this, I'm actually going to unwrap everything. So for this piece here, I'm going to select a little bit and Control L. And it might seem messy, but I'm going to try just Smart UV Project, and it's going to bust it apart into a million pieces. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just, let's see, I just did that. Let's see, do I have everything done? maybe I'll just, let's see if we could just pack at this point. It's okay. So what gets, I may not have gotten everything actually there. Let's do that again. So this piece has good representation. Oh, that might be okay. So I just packed with UV Packmaster. You could, of course, pack just with Blender. I would like to try this. And it's really going to have just one material on it, although I am thinking of something in behind. So let's see. Let's export that as an FBX. I'm going to call this window, and we'll do selected objects. Okay, over in Substance Painter, File, New, switch that to OpenGL, and come over to Export Halloween Video. We got Window. Let's bring that in. Okay, there it is. I'm going to bake the mesh maps, and I will do it at 2K, unchecking ID and thickness, and bake. There we go. So it's a good idea to go ahead and you know, put the textures on and see how it looks. And if it looks fine, then you don't have to go back and fiddle with the unwrap. And if it doesn't, then you do. So I'm going to search in my materials for concrete. No, it's a smart material. We saved the smart material. We saved the concrete Halloween. Concrete Halloween video or vid. That's the one I'm going to drag in. And I like it so far. I'm not even up at 2K. The only thing I want to do is I want to come in here. This is really edges here. I just want to come in here and maybe reduce those edges. See? Yeah, okay. Just have something like that. And I could consider the dirt maybe. But just bring that down just a little bit. And that's really it. I will go ahead and bump this up to 2K. I'm not going to do damage and stuff like that. I think this is going to be okay. There's a little bit in there anyhow. Okay, so yeah. Let's try that. Okay, so we got it as window. Let's save this in Halloween video. Window, and I'm going to export this, and just like I did in the last video, I'm going to use this one that I've got with short name. It's PBR metallic roughness with OpenGL, and I got rid of the underscore mesh part, I think. And so this is going to go into Textures Halloween video, leaving it as 8 bits PNG. Export. Nice short name there, window. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to save, go into shading, and find the window. We already have the name there, so just click on the Principled BSDF, Shift Control T, and then make sure we're in the right Textures Halloween video. And this is window down to bottom base color to roughness, and just quickly check it. There it is. Okay, looks okay. So let's go back to layout, and let's do this. And you know, the lighting's a little bit weird, you can't see it that well, but that's it. I mean, if I put the what am I doing? If I put the mirror back on, I'm just going to switch the lighting for a moment so you can see it a little bit better. There it is. This little spot here is a little problematic in that it shows up in the mirror. I don't think anyone's going to look that carefully at that, so I'm okay with that. So that's that. Now, there was one other thing that I was thinking of. I'm going to go back to whichever one I was on. Just that for now. I was thinking, because I don't know what I'm going to do exactly with the wall and all, I was thinking I'm going to bring my 3D cursor. Let's just select the whole thing and do that. I was thinking about bringing in a plane. Scale X, or rotate X 90 for now, as I always say, for now. Doing something like that. Let's bring this back. And maybe I would take this piece and I'm going to add a material to this, and I'm going to call this emission window in case I have another one. And I'll switch this to emission and put this at like 2 maybe, but we'll make it kind of a yellowish. That maybe even I'll leave it at 1. Just because I don't know for sure what I'm going to do. And so if I take this, I don't know that I want to join it. If I do join it, is there a problem doing that? You know, I may just go ahead and do it. I can easily take it apart after, and I can still get to this if I want to change that to 2, which I think I'm going to do anyhow, just for now. So I'm going to leave that there. There'll be another window over there after. So let's just move on now, and let's focus on the door. And for some reason, this has got the bowl material. I'm going to use the same material, but it's not going to be that. So I'm going to get rid of that for now. And so this needs to have just door material on there. So all this is door, right? So I'm going to take, and that's all in here. And by the way, do I have that as a, no, they're all separate. All right. Well, you know what I might do is bring everything back. Let's go back to here. Bring everything back. And I'm going to, see, did I take it out of door? Yeah. I'm going to move that back into door, and I'm going to take the door and I'm going to bring that into textured so that I can still just find what I want. In fact, and down here I can just come to door, and I should be doing that for, okay, window. Let's do this. Let's take this, move this into just window, called it window 1, but let's just call it windows, whatever. Drag that down into textured as well. So we're just putting in the things that need to go there, and that is not part of that, so I'm not sure why that's going there. This is lanterns. Maybe I don't have something for lanterns. Really? Unless I'm just not seeing it. I'm just going to do that. Okay, let's drag that. Just some cleanup stuff. We'll put that there. Okay, so once again, if I come back to textured and I select and I look at it, am I getting all the things that I want? I believe I am. All right, so save for now. Okay, so anyways, for the door, I could, doesn't really matter. Okay, UV editing. Okay, so for this one, same deal. I'm going to come in here. Now this one I haven't applied the bevel to some parts, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to come in here and I am going to grab the edge. This one, yeah, has a bevel on it, so there's only one edge, but it's beveled. Or we've got the bevel modifier on it anyhow, so I can just easily select that one edge. And I'm going to do just like I did before. Control E, mark seam, so that's going to be fine. Yeah, so if we wanted to see it, let's see. Yeah, because of the seam, yeah, it's a little harder to select. Actually, I can go Control L and material. I've got it all, and then I can just unwrap, and I could straighten that stuff if I want to. In fact, maybe it's a good idea to. So I'll take some of these here at a time. Try UV squares. Take this one. And these two, not worry about the other little smaller things. Always gotta have the arrow in my cursor in this window. Okay, so that's okay so far. I could pack for whatever reason if it just wanted to Spread them out a bit. Okay, so we got that. For this, can I just unwrap this? Yeah, I can. And so I'm going to take that. I'm going to scale it down a bit. I'm going to rotate 180 so it's actually in the orientation of the door. I'm just going to leave that. That leaves this stuff. And can I just unwrap that? Yeah, and I'm going to go with that, actually, for that stuff as well. And for this one, though, it's very simple unwrapping. I'm not really doing anything. I'm going to put a seam here because why not? Because if it's a nice cylinder and you don't put a seam, it's like you're incredibly lazy. Let's say I had all that and that and that. And if I just unwrap, I get this. And I think that's going to be fine. So if I select everything, and I'm going to pack it, but then I'm going to come back and say, you know, I think this is like this is the doorknob. I'm just going to make that somewhat smaller. We're really not going to see that much. And this one here, this is the door, and I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to rotate minus 90. And I'm going to go to pack, but I'm going to uncheck rotation enable so that the door stays in the orientation I want it. And that gives me that. I mean, we could look at that and see what that looks like. And it's probably going to be okay. So I'm going to save that, and then now we're going to export that as an FBX as the door. So this is Halloween video. I think that's correct. So this is going to be door.fbx, selected objects, and over to here, make sure that's saved. We'll go to new, OpenGL, and grab the door. Okay, there it is. And it's got the materials. So let's go over here to the baking the mesh maps at 2K, unchecking and bake. Good. And let's throw on the anti-aliasing. And this one's going to be very simple as well because we've got the smart material. We're going to use this concrete that we had before. I'm going to look at the bricks a little bit. And if I want to, I can come back in here. These again are the edges. And I can just tame those a little bit. And I can come to the dirt if I want. And just bring that down a little bit. All right, well, that's okay. I'm going to start with that. And again, I'm only at 1K. And now I want to do this stuff. And for that, let's go back to the layers. So that's my base concrete layer for the brick-like stuff. I also have saved a metal. I believe it was metal. Was it Halloween? Yeah. I'm going to drag that in above. And that'll go on everything. I'm going to put a black mask and come over here to my polygon fill tool and choose the mesh. And I can choose, not the door, that thing and that thing. And these bolts. And we'll just see how it looks using that. And that's going on there and there. And the cylinder. All right, let's see. Is it on everything? It's not on this guy. Or is it? I may have a problem with this guy, so I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But that'd be basically okay. Let me save this as door, Halloween video. Yep, that's good. Save that. And let's come up one more. I want to do some wood. Now, I'm going to look in Smart Materials. And there's a wood that I'm thinking of using, and it's this one. It's called Wood Bat. This is a wood that I created a while ago when I created a bat that had a saw on it and it was bloody. And I think it was for a challenge of like weapons or something. I'll see if I can find it and link you to that video where I believe I made this material. So it's just a smart material. You could try any of the woods, but I'm going to grab that because it's actually got the blood. And just before I do anything else, let me just put a black mask and we'll just do that. And you can see it's got some blood on there, which I think kind of works for Halloween. Is that it there? Where'd it go? Oh, it's so small. I'm going to unwrap that again. No, I can't unwrap it like that. No, thought I could. Okay, no problem. We will do the following then. We are just going to... I'm just going to put a seam there. I'm going to get that, and I'm going to make that really small. Let me make sure this is okay as well. Let's make that a little bit bigger. And let's, with all that stuff there, let's pack this again with rotation enable not there. Okay, and let's just try that again and see what happens. So this is, a good example of when something doesn't work quite right. You go back, export it again, and then come over here. Oh, let's turn this all back on. And I'm actually going to go back just to 1K. It's a little bit easier. And I'm going to go edit project configuration, select and choose the door again. And OK. And that'll reload it. But I'm going to have to bake the mesh maps again. And let's just see how she looks. That wasn't a good unwrap for that ball, but just because it's metal, it may not actually make much difference at all. That's such a small thing. You see? So now it's correct. And that's correct. And now if I bring this back up to that. There we go. So the only thing is I kind of want to have a little bit more of this. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. And same with the dirt. I was going to bring that up. I'm going to save this and let's go ahead and do the usual export with the short name, and that's going in this folder. And there it is. And over to here with shading. We already have the material, so Shift Control T, and this should be correct. Door base color down to roughness. Let's just double check that the materials have come in. They have. And let's go back to layout and slash key, and let's just focus on textured. Let's select and slash. So this should be all the stuff that's textured so far. So let's see how she's looking. And there you go. So that the concrete matches with everything else. Whether or not we like these dark indents, I'm not having a problem with them right now, but maybe it is. I don't know. But anyways, that's what we get. Now, the lighting is not final for any of this, and so that's why, you can't see it all that well. But if I just switch over to something, not that though, we can see some variation. Oh, that's what I was using before. You can just decrease the strength anyhow, but just if you wanted just a slightly different view, the lighting. Okay, so hopefully once we get all the rest of the stuff in there with the wall, it will look okay on the proper lighting. So that's what we've got. Let's go back to here, save, slash. The other window I'll put there. So I'm just going to decide what I'll do next. There's a good chance I will do either these whatever plant holders or whatever, or I might do the wall behind. And maybe even quickly I can get these in. So I'm going to continue to build it up, and hopefully you'll tune in for another video with me on this to see how it goes. And also the whips and even some renders for the Halloween challenge are really coming in on the Zero Bio Discord, and things are looking really awesome and spooky. It's the 22nd today, and the deadline is October 31st, so there's still like 9 days to go. So I'm just going to keep plodding away at this, and I really appreciate seeing the work that other people are doing, and I hope you'll come by to the Discord and check those whips and renders out. And at the very least, come back to this channel when the challenge is all over and watch my final review video and like it and give some comments to support people that were in the challenge. So really enjoying this so far. I hope you're liking it. I know it's Substance Painter. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you want to see, you know, what's been done, we're doing a lot of stuff in Blender. We're unwrapping in Blender. We're putting it together. We modeled it in Blender. We're just using Substance Painter for the texturing, of course. Okay, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.